What's good, sports fans? Are you ready to elevate your live entertainment experience? Well, let me introduce you to SeatGeek, an amazing platform that connects you to your favorite events while saving you money. With SeatGeek, you can easily find tickets for sports games, concerts, and so much more, all in one place. The interface is user-friendly, making it simple to browse and compare prices. And one of the best features is the interactive seating chart. You can see exactly where you'll be sitting and how much you'll be spending, ensuring you get the best value for your money. But here's the best part. Check this out. By using my promo code, ChalkItUpSports, you can enjoy a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. That's right, $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Imagine catching that thrilling game or concert without breaking the bank. It's a win-win situation. Plus, you'll be a part of a community of fans who eat, sleep, and breathe live events just as much as you do. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download the SeatGeek app today. And don't forget to use my promo code ChalkItUpSports for a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. Get excited. Now let's get back to the show. Yeah. What's good? This is your boy Tone DeShields the second. You guys are locked in on another edition, a post-game edition of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, man. The show must go on. The show does not go on without the people. You feel what I'm saying? Your energy, your vibes, your commitment, your engagement is what makes this machine move. So make sure you guys continue to stay active in the chat. Make sure you guys are also subscribed to the channel. Hit the like button before you get too comfortable. Hit that like button. And by the way, hit that like button. Also, shout out to all my people who are watching on X, man. I appreciate y'all as well. By the way, come over to the YouTube side, y'all. It's more fun on this side. You know, I appreciate y'all. Don't get it twisted now. Make sure y'all hit that retweet button. You feel me? Make sure y'all hit the little heart, the little like button. You know, reply, whatever it is you got to do. But come on to the YouTube side, y'all. It's way more dangerous on this side. You feel what I'm saying? It's way more wicked on this side. So make sure you guys are on the right side of history. Again, I appreciate y'all. You guys have truly been phenomenal. All right, let's talk about this game. And we're going to break this down piece by piece. I appreciate the investment by my man, Fresh and Clean. I'm going to get to that super chat in a second, my guy. Don't you worry. But again, appreciate y'all. Sweet Chin Music with a super chat. I'm gonna get to you as well. But man, what an interesting game. What an interesting game to watch, because just like last week, it was a tale of two halves for the Philadelphia Eagles offense, right? And you know, I have plenty criticisms for Kevin Patullo, and I'm going to get to those. But I was really impressed with how the Philadelphia Eagles offense came out the gate. I think they scored on, if I'm not mistaken, they scored on 4 of their first 5 drives. They scored, let me make sure I got this right. I think they scored 4 touchdowns. No, 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals, or one field goal. Let me make sure. Let me make sure I got this right here. All right. So yes, because they had the block punt for the touchdown. So outside of the block punt for the touchdown, the Eagles scored on 3 of their first 4 drives. Not bad. Not bad at all. You scored on 3 of your first 4 drives. Your special teams came up big, setting the tone, blocking the punt, giving you a 7-point lead early. Then offense comes out there, drives 8 yards. Drives 73 yards for 8 plays. So your special teams came out strong. Your defense got the 3 and out. Your offense comes out in 8 plays, goes 73 yards in 4 minutes. Eagles got a 14 0-point lead. Then defense allows a field goal on 12 plays, 49 yards, 7 minutes taken off the clock. Game is now 14-3. Eagles offense goes out 3 and out. Game is still 14-3. Defense comes out there, gets him off the field in 5 plays. Game is still 14-3 Eagles. Then Eagles follow up with another touchdown drive. Game is 21-3 Eagles. Eagles defense forces another 3 and out. Then Eagles get the ball back. Eagles kick a field goal. Now they're up 24-3. Then somehow, some way, Buccaneers kick like a 65-yard field goal, making the game 24-6. So the first half, your offense, your defense, and your special teams were all working in sync. I really liked the play calling in the first half on offense. I thought pass blocking was really, really good. I thought Jalen Hurts did an amazing job spreading the ball around. You know, there were moments where they did test them deep and try to hit A.J. Brown deep. I appreciated the attempt and forcing them to respect it. But I really enjoyed the creativity in the first half. I felt like there was true. I feel like I saw a real offense in the first half. I feel like I saw a legit offense in the first half. Like, honestly, you saw Dallas Goedert getting involved, Grant Calcaterra, Devontae Smith, right? A.J. Brown had a big slant for a third down conversion. The Eagles were converting third downs at a pretty good clip. That first half was really strong by the offense. And I even tweeted. After the first half, I said, Kevin Patullo needs to string together 2 to 3 more games for him to get the doghouse, right? Jalen Hurts was 15 for 16 in the first half, like 130 passing yards, something like that. 2 passing touchdowns. He was running the ball well. He was handling the blitz extremely well, right? You got to give credit where credit is due to the offense for setting the tone. Defense, they did struggle in run defense at first. Run defense was a little funny at first. And then they tightened up in the second quarter. Pass coverage, I felt like was really strong in the first half. Quinyon Mitchell was playing out of his mind. I thought Zack Baun was playing great. I loved the variations of blitzes that Vic Fangio was dialing up. That really impressed me. They were doing a lot to generate pressure. The Eagles really didn't get much pressure from the edge. A lot of the pressure came from the interior, came on the extra blitzer. And I think they did a good job pressuring Baker Mayfield, forcing him into some quick throws that he really didn't want. That second half was really good. Special teams, again, blocked the punt, took it to the house. All three phases played well. The Eagles' run game is still struggling. Still. And I'm not understanding why. Now, I will say this. I'm still not seeing enough creativity in the run game. I'm not. I don't know what's going on with Stoutland. I don't know what's going on with Patullo. You know, Stoutland, he's the run. Jamal Singleton is the running backs coach, but I think Stoutland is the run game coordinator, if I'm not mistaken. We didn't see Saquon really hit outside off tackle. No, you didn't really see no pitches like that. You didn't really see us pulling too many guys. It's just I'm not seeing this offensive line maximize their athleticism in the run game. And too often they kept trying to run up the middle. The run game is just not working. And they're not being creative with it. I don't understand. But again, despite the run game not being as effective, I felt like the Eagles played a very strong first half. They dominated the first half, dominated it completely. They put up 24 points in the first half, holding Tampa Bay to 6. But then the second half comes. Eagles get the ball back. And they can't do nothing with it. They punt. Then Tampa Bay gets the ball back. They try to go for it on 4th down. They turn the ball over on downs. Eagles get the ball back, only 3 plays. Can't do nothing with it. And then 1 play, 77 yards to Emeka Ibuka. Reed Blankenship Andrew Makuba, what happened? You cannot allow a team to score that quickly when you got a lead like that. That's how comebacks are given up. That's how you give up comebacks. You cannot allow your opponent to score quickly like that. One play, 77 yards, 13 seconds. That can't happen. That cannot happen. Then offense gets the ball back. 3 plays, -7 yards. What's going on? Offense became anemic. Then Tampa Bay gets the ball back. They run 2 plays. Jihaad Campbell forces the fumble. Shout out to Jihaad Campbell forcing the fumble. I think it was Jihaad Campbell. It was either Jalen Hunt or Jihaad Campbell. Eagles get the ball back in Buccaneers territory. They go 6 plays, 25 yards, kill 3.5 minutes off the clock. Fake tush push touchdown run with Saquon Barkley. You got a 31-13 lead. At this point, you should not be allowing them in this game. You should be dominating the game. You should be killing the clock. What happens? Another quick touchdown. 4 plays, 86 yards, only 1:41 ticking off the clock. Buccaneers go 31. Buccaneers break down the lead 31-20. So instead of being up 31-13 and forcing them to drive the length of the field because they didn't prove to do it all day, the Buccaneers did not prove at all that they can drive the field consistently and effectively. Every time they thought they was driving, they turned the ball over. The Buccaneers only moved the ball because of penalties and, quite frankly, quick touchdowns. That defense was forcing them in bad predicaments all day long. They couldn't move the ball. But again, when you allow the offense to score quickly, and when your offense is not sustaining drives, giving them more opportunities, more cracks at the apple, that's how you lose football games. That's how you lose football games. So I can point the finger in so many different ways in this game, and I will. But when you allow them to score quickly, and when your offense isn't sustaining drives, that is a recipe for disaster. So they score 4 plays, 86 yards. The game is 31-20. Eagles punt the ball. Again, 5 plays, -5 yards. That's unacceptable. There was a drive where we literally force-fed A.J. Brown the ball, 3 back-to-back pass plays, the same route. No variation, the same exact route. A.J. Brown is an all-pro receiver. He can run more than a go ball and a hitch route. He can do way more than that. So it seemed to me in that second half, the play caller turned back into a pumpkin. Jalen Hurts didn't complete a single pass in the second half. Not a single one. Not a single pass. He was 15 for 16 before halftime. He threw the ball 8 times, went 0 for 8. 0 for 8. They ran the same route 3 times in a row with A.J. Brown. The same route. How can you not be creative with A.J. Brown? How? You ran the exact same route 3 times in a row. He can run more than a fucking hitch. So again, now we get to the fourth quarter. Like I said, Eagles 5 plays, -5 yards, only killed 2 minutes off the clock. Buccaneers get the ball back. They go 6 plays, 29 yards, field goal. Eagles get the ball back. 3 plays, no yards. That was the moment where I was like, oh, they're really force-feeding A.J. Brown. They're force-feeding him. What the fuck? What's going on? They force-fed him the ball. Force-fed him. No creativity to get him to rock. No drag routes. No slant in the second half. No dagger routes. No post, no corner. Like, come on, man. So, Buccaneers get the ball back, 6 plays, 29 yards. They drive, field goal attempt. Game is 31-23. Eagles get the ball back, 3 plays, no gain. To only 28 yards, take out the clock. Game is still 31-23. Buccaneers go 8 plays, put up 36 yards. And remind you, there were penalties getting them down the field, by the way. 8 plays, 36 yards, 4 minutes off the clock. Baker Mayfield throws an interception in the end zone. Jihaad Campbell gets the interception. Big play by him after giving up the big touchdown pass to Bucky Irving. And again, I say this. Outside of those big, because it was 2 70-yard touchdowns back to back. So that's 140 passing yards. If you take away those 2 pass attempts by Baker Mayfield for 140 yards total, he has no touchdowns and only throws for 140 yards. 140 yards. Think about that. You gave up 147 yards on 2 plays. You take that away, Baker Mayfield only has 142 yards passing. You cannot allow yourself to get gashed like that in the second half. As a defense, you can't. The second one, great pass by Baker, extending the play. Finds Bucky Irving, beating Jihaad Campbell. The first one, come on, man. Andrew McCuba, Reed Blankenship, y'all got to be better than that. You got to be better than that. Nonetheless, Eagles defense forces the interception. Eagles get the ball back, only go 3 plays, 8 yards, only take 1:41 off the clock. Unacceptable. And I'm going to get to the super chats. Unacceptable. Then Buccaneers get the ball back, 12 plays, 43 yards, waste 5 minutes and 10 seconds, turnover on downs. Eagles defense comes up in the clutch. So the Eagles defense did not have a good third quarter. They gave up 2 explosive plays, 2 explosive 70-yard touchdown passes. That's the only reason they are in the game. You can't let that happen. They bite down in the fourth quarter and only give up 3 points. Only give up 3 points. And force the turnover on a crucial drive. Eagles get the ball back. 3 plays, 8 yards. Then defense has to play defense again. 12 plays, 43 yards. Force them off the field. Eagles get the ball back. 4 plays. They take the safety. Smart decision, by the way. Smart. Eagles win the game 31-25. You got the win. Tough environment, on the road. The weather was daunting. It was getting hotter and hotter as the game progressed. And in that third quarter in particular, neither the offense nor the defense did each other favors. Neither the offense or the defense did each other favors in that third quarter. I will say the forced fumble was huge, though. The forced fumble was huge. But other than that, other than the touchdown by Saquon Barkley and the forced fumble, offense and defense didn't do each other no favors. And I really think all that run, again, it's a tough environment to play in. So you say to yourself, get the win. And we also spoke about how these first 4 games are going to be extremely difficult to win. We spoke about this. those first 4 games, we knew they were going to be extremely difficult to win. Extremely difficult. We talked about all the storylines attached to these games, all the narratives attached to these games. We talked about this. And for you to come out of this gauntlet 4-0 speaks to the mettle of your team, speaks to the resiliency of this team. So again, I have things to criticize with Kevin Patullo in the second half. Things got real vanilla. Things got real safe. I think in that second half, they started playing not to lose. I think Kevin Patullo got tight. That shit got predictable. The first half, the play calling, hey, I'm like, yo, I'm seeing creativity here. But you got out of Tampa Bay with the win. You were able to drop 31 points on them. Your defense gave up 23 points. Not awful, but the way you gave it up. You gave up 2 touchdowns on 2 plays for 147 yards. I don't expect that to happen again. And because that you were up so much, the Buccaneers couldn't really lean on their run offense the way they wanted to. But Bucky Irvin was averaging 4 yards a carry, 15 carries, 63 yards. He did fumble, but was averaging 4 yards a carry. Longest run of the day was 15 yards for the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield had a couple scrambles, but they did a good job containing him overall. Bucky Irvin, 5 catches, 102 yards again. 70 of those yards is 1 play. Emeka Ibuka, 4 catches on 10 targets, 101 yards and a touchdown. 1 of those on 1 play. I mean, 70 of those yards, 77 of those yards on 1 play. The Eagles' pass coverage had these motherfuckers in a vice grip. They couldn't pass the ball. They couldn't move the ball without the refs' help, without the Eagles giving them penalties. They couldn't move the ball. But when you give up 2 plays for 147 yards, 2 touchdowns, that's a quick way to lose a football game. Vic Fangio was livid. And Kevin Patullo turned back into a pumpkin in the second half. And Saquon Barkley tweaked his ankle. So now we don't know how serious that is. He was still in the game, but we don't know. We don't know. It may be lingering now. I think we have to get A.J. Dillon more involved in the run game. I'm sorry. We got to get A.J. Dillon more involved. From the running backs, A.J. Dillon had the longest run of the day, 11 yards. Saquon had a 10-yard run. You got to get, I'm sorry, Saquon is that dude, but you got to give these defenses something different to look at. You got to give them a different style of running back to deal with. A.J. Dillon touched the ball 1 time and took it 11 yards. You gotta let him get his opportunities. It'll take stress off of Saquon. It'll take pressure off of him. It'll force the defense to approach you different. Why are we running up the middle of the field in the lap of Vita Vea and Levante David? You got to do better than this. You have to do better than this. You were kicking the Buccaneers' ass, and they couldn't do nothing about it. So I can criticize both sides of the ball. I can. I can. But the reality is, tough environment, an opponent that knows you well, a defensive identity that has given you problems in the past. You diced it up in the first half. You jumped out to an early lead. Eliminated their run game from the equation in the second half for the most part. Your defense was covering well. Cooper DeJean had a strong game. Quinyon Mitchell had a phenomenal game. Zack Baun had a phenomenal game. Jihaad Campbell, outside of giving up that touchdown, had a phenomenal game. Like, let me see something real quick. You gotta do a better job in moments like that. When you got a chance to put a team away, you gotta put them away. But again, I loved what I saw in the first half by the offense. I loved what I saw in the first half for the most part, defense. I loved what I saw in the first half, special teams. Like I said, tough environment, the weather, a team that knows you well, a 3-0 football team who's been playing well for the most part, a team that hasn't. You went up against a Buccaneers team that didn't turn the ball over all season long. You forced two. You forced the interception in the end zone, and you forced a fumble. A team that didn't turn the ball over at all, you forced two turnovers in one game. And if you want to throw in the turnover on downs, you can throw that in. So you forced 3 turnovers, an interception, a forced fumble, and a turnover on downs. A team that has not turned the ball over whatsoever. So you got to give the defense credit in that regard. Defense came up big time in the fourth quarter, battling against the Heat. You still put up 31 points on a bad day, or a bad half, rather. On a bad half. You put up 31 points, and you didn't play a complete game. You could have dropped 45 on these guys. You could have really laid it on them. So I'm happy to get the win. I'm happy this team is 4-0. We talked about the gauntlet these first 4 weeks. We talked about how difficult it would be to win these 4 games. So you know what happens next? You got Broncos next. You got the Broncos next, right? And the Broncos are a fairly good football team. The Broncos are a fairly good football team. Let's just call that what it is. And the Broncos got the Bengals tomorrow night. We'll see how that goes. And here's another thing too, y'all. Here's another thing. I don't think Kelee Ringo was awful in coverage. I really don't. But also, we got to keep this in mind too. The Buccaneers really didn't test him in coverage. So let's think about that. They really didn't test Ringo in coverage. I gotta watch the film back, and I gotta see the next gen stats. But they really didn't test him much in coverage, especially in the first half. Maybe you guys feel differently. I gotta watch the film back. But they didn't really test Ringo, and on top of that, they tried to target Quinyon, and Quinyon had them in a vice grip. The only time Emeka Ibuka got off is when 2 safeties had a boneheaded play. Emeka Ibuka was strapped from Quinyon. Emeka Ibuka couldn't do nothing with Quinyon Mitchell. Nothing. That's back-to-back weeks. Shutting down Devontae Adams, shutting down Emeka Ibuka. Come on now. Couldn't do nothing. So I give so much credit to that defense, right? And then I will say this though, Kelee Ringo probably didn't get tested in coverage, but he missed like 3-4 tackles in the game. He missed like 3 crucial tackles, like 4 crucial tackles. Like, come on. Man. And the thing is, he wasn't even really getting yanked. He just couldn't tackle. Bucky Irvin stiffed armed his ass like 2 or 3 times. Look, man, again, you won a game, a tough game. A tough game. You know, not easy. Not easy, man. That was not an easy game to win. I say again, the environment, playing in Tampa with that weather. You know, this team knows you well. They give you trouble. You know, you're coming off like everybody knew these first 4 games was going to be tough. You still did it. I'm telling y'all, once the Eagles get to that stretch where it's Giants, Vikings, Giants, they can, I don't want to say settle down, but the opponents get weaker. The opponents get weaker. Once you get past Broncos, you got Giants, Vikings, Giants. Then you got your bye week. So I feel good about the overall prospects of this team, frankly. I think this team needs a bye week, though. I will say that. I think this team needs a bye week. They're getting nicked up. Jalen Carter left the game with a shoulder, came back in. Lane Johnson left the game, never came back in. Tyler Steen got banged up, but he eventually came back in. Saquon got banged up. So I think that week 8 bye week is perfectly placed. And you've gone home game, road game, home game, road game. It's gonna be tough these next couple games. But you got Broncos, then Giants. I can live with that. I can live with that. And again, I keep saying people talking about A.J. Brown's body language. How the freak do you expect him to react? How do you expect A.J. Brown to react? He didn't slam his helmet. He didn't curse nobody out. How do you expect him to react? He gave you nothing. He was stone-faced, walking to the sideline, taking his helmet off. Stop trying to impose how you feel on A.J. Brown. I'm sure it's frustrating. I'm sure. But it was really that second half. And I think, if anything, he's more frustrated with how he's being used. Because he's getting the targets. I don't think he's getting the targets. I think he's irritated with how he's being used. So I'm not jumping out the window. Because I think my man LB said this on Twitter. Nobody bigger than the program. If your offense is humming, we passing the ball, we moving the ball, you got a double-digit league, I don't give a fuck about his targets. I don't care about his receptions. Where things get spooky is the second half, where offense gets stifled. And then you start force-feeding him the ball. And you have him running the same route. That's where things get frustrating for me if I'm A.J. Brown. That's where I get frustrated. Pass game was humming in the first half. Okay, I had a crucial third down conversion, but we're up double digits. We put up 24 points in the first half. Held them to 6. Okay, all right. But if I'm AJ, I don't get irritated with the first half. I get irritated with how I'm being used in the second. That's where I get frustrated. If I'm him, how I'm being used in the second half. You made me run 3 back-to-back hitch routes. First down, second down, third down. All 3 incomplete. You force-feeding him the ball. Not even being creative with it. It's like, you know what it looked like in the second half? You know what it looked like? It looked like Kevin Patullo was like, oh, shoot, I got to get AJ the ball. It looked like it looked like he put getting him the ball at the forefront of sustaining drives. So that was a frustrating game to play. The heat was frustrating. The Buccaneers staging a comeback is frustrating. Right? A tale of 2 halves. But I'm telling you this now, though. This is not the 2023 season. You want to know why? Because of his defense. Because of the defense. This is not the 2023 season. And the reason I say that is because this defense is good. Again, I say, outside of those 2 bombs, Baker Mayfield, one of them was a prayer ball, and the other one I give him credit for. He extended the play, found Bucky Irvin. I give him credit for that one. And look, he threw the ball to Emeka Egbuka in double coverage. That's a busted coverage on our part. That was a prayer ball. It was a prayer. You gave Baker Mayfield 2 touchdowns on 147 yards passing. Other than that, he only threw for like 140 yards. That won't happen again. The Eagles won't allow that to happen again on defense. Best believe Vic Fangio is going to come down on that. So, you won the game. You're 4-0. You're 4-0. And believe it or not, a lot of people had you losing this game. Some people really had you losing this game. Understandably so. But I think the Eagles did a phenomenal job in the first half dicing up that Ty Bowles defense. Did a phenomenal job. But with the way Ty Bowles plays defense, eventually they're going to get home. Eventually. They will eventually get home. So you got to keep them guessing. And I just think in the second half, they got too passive. They got way too passive. And started just force-feeding Saquon Barkley the rock, force-feeding A.J. Brown the rock. How about give the ball to the open guy? How about put pressure and stress that Buccaneers defense with play action? Because at that point, they're expecting you to lean on the run because you're up double digits. They're expecting that. It was awful, man. But again, you won the game. You won the game, you won the game, you won the game. And these past 4 weeks have not been easy by any stretch of the imagination. Before the season started, we said, if you get past these first 4 weeks, okay, you're in good shape. If you can get through these first 4 weeks, 3-1 at least, you're in good shape. A lot of people had us starting 0-4. People had us starting 1-3. My man, Fresh and Clean with the super chat. Thank you. With the $1.99, I appreciate you. He says, I'm not blaming no one on defense. Patullo sucks. Dog, when your defense gives up 2 touchdowns on 2 passes for 147 total yards, they got to take accountability for something. They got to take accountability for something. I'm not saying they were the overall problem, but by allowing the Buccaneers to score quickly, you give them more opportunities. And by the offense not sustaining drives, you give them more opportunities. So it was not working in sync in that second half, in particular the third quarter. It was not working in sync. And the offense put a lot of pressure on that defense in the second half, a lot. If they come out the half and they score a touchdown, you go up 31-6. That's a whole different ball game. Sweet Chin Music with the $5 super chat. Thank you, my friend. He says, the rookies gave up some huge plays, but I still feel good about the defense. That second half offense, though, absolutely inexcusable. I'm done with Patullo. Your frustration is completely valid. Your frustration is completely valid. I give credit to Jihaad Campbell for staying focused and not allowing that play to define him. He came up big with a huge second, with a huge third, was it a fourth quarter? With a huge fourth quarter interception. Very big deal. And Makuba has to be disciplined, man. He lost sight of the ball. It looked like he almost thought Reed Blankenship was going to. I just give Reed Blankenship credit for diving and putting himself in the action. Makuba just looked like he didn't know what he was doing. My man Green Wingman with the $10 super chat. Thank you, my friend. He says it happens. He said it appears that the contribution over credit will be tested this year. You can't keep forcing players as touches. Goddard was unstoppable, and then we moved away from him. Malpractice in the second. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. They couldn't stop Goddard. They couldn't stop Calcaterra. Their linebackers couldn't cover. I'm so with you, Greeny. Dallas Goedert was having a game, and then you go away from him in the second half? Goddard was unstoppable. Goddard was unstoppable. They didn't have a single guy that could. They didn't have a single guy that can mess with him. Word with the super chat. Thank you for the $1.99 donation, brother. He says starting to become a pattern with Reed and Makuba. No comment, Word. No comment. No comment. I appreciate your super chat, dog. I got to think about that a little more. I got to think about that. Word back again with the super chat. $4.99. Thank you, man. He says, not going to lie, we need a pass rusher ASAP. Baker had all day today. You know, honestly, Baker was pressured a lot in this game. He was pressured a lot. Let me see if I can find some of the stats here, if they're available. The Eagles got a lot of pressure with the interior offensive line. I mean, defensive line. They got pressure with the blitz, but we didn't get much pressure from the edge. Let me see here. The next gen stats didn't come out yet, but I think Baker Mayfield. I think Vic Fangio did a great job sending different blitz packages at Mayfield. He wasn't really effective in the first half. He wasn't. There were moments where Baker just made things happen with his legs, but that's on us. That's on the Eagles. JT87 with the $5 super chat. Thank you, JT. Thank you, JT. He says, I just hate AJ's body language when we're blowing him out, but he don't get his catches. We almost lost the game, forcing the ball in the second half. Dog, AJ's body language means nothing to me. It means nothing. Like, I appreciate the donation, by the way. It means nothing to me. My thing is, like, what are you expecting him to do? What are you expecting him to do? But I do believe force-feeding AJ was a mistake. Force-feeding AJ was a mistake. And it seemed like there was a point in the game where the refs were desperate to give the Buccaneers a shot. They were desperate to give the Buccaneers a shot. The Anime Gamer with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, my friend. He says, Kevin Patullo needs to stop having Saquon run up the middle and start running outside more. He's going to get him killed. Dog, facts. 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 Like, there's no creativity in how we are getting Saquon the ball, bro. None. I like what they did in the first quarter. He was, he was the hot route. I like that. I liked how they was using him in the first quarter. But you gotta stop running up the middle, bro. You gotta stop running up the middle, man. It makes no sense. Roland with the super chat. Thank you, Roland. $10 super chat. Thank you. He says, is it me or does it feel like Patullo was giving up on 3rd and long with those trash ass run plays up the middle? Bruh, that is frustrating as well, dog. If it's beyond 3rd and 10, he's running the ball. It's like predictable at this point. If you force the Eagles in 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13, he's running the ball. You got Saquon, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts. Why aren't you being aggressive? Again, I want to give him credit for the first half. There were answers installed in that game plan. The red zone offense was chef's kiss. The creativity in the red zone was great. Seriously. The shovel passes to Dallas Goedert, remarkable. We don't really see the Eagles run those. You know, the fake tush push with Saquon for the touchdown. You know, I think that was the first variation we saw this year. So the red zone offense is there. The Eagles are still 100% in the red zone. It's between the 20s where things get weird. So I give Patullo credit for installing answers in that first half for Jalen Hurts. But dog, the moment things got off script, he turned into a pumpkin. He turned into a pumpkin. Jay Graves with the super chat. $4.99. Thank you, my man. He says Hurts had no completions in the second half. Bruh, I know. How? It's crazy. Granted, I wasn't a fan of the routes. Benjamin Moore, you nailed it. First half, played to win. Second half, played not to lose. I agree 100%. That's what it looked like to me. Linda Washington with the super chat. Thank you, Ms. Linda, with the $1.99 donation. I appreciate you. Shep, my OG, thank you for the $10 super chat. He says, Shalom, Tone. I believe we have a play caller problem somewhat. But nevertheless, a W is a W. Go Birds. Keep up the good work, my guy. Thank you, Shep. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, like Kevin Patullo has yet to call a complete game. Week 1, strong first half. Weak second half. Week 2, overall weak game in general. Week 3, weak first half, really strong second half. Week 4, strong first half, very weak second half. He's yet to put together a strong game of play calling. He's yet to do it. You can't do what you did in the first half and then all of a sudden become a non-factor in the first half. I mean, second half, you can't do that. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Davon Tyree with the $1.99 super chat. He says the refs almost gave the Bucs a chance. Facts, bro. They wanted them in this game. I don't know if the bettors was trying to cover the spread, whatever it was, but the refs did everything possible to give the Bucs this game. Flight Sphere with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Flight. He says KP, Kevin Patullo, saw the first half and said, let's not do that again. Defense saves the day again. Go Birds. Defense did a good job in the second half. I mean, outside, again, you can't allow the offense to score that quickly. That's the only indictment I have on this defense. You gave up 2 passes for 147 yards and 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes of play. Less than 2 minutes of play. Do I got that right? Let me make sure I got that right. 1 play, 77 yards, 13 seconds. 4 plays, 86 yards, 1 minute and 41 seconds. You gave up a 72-yard touchdown pass and a 77-yard touchdown pass. That's an 149 yard. That's 149 yards. 149 yards given up on 2 plays. 2. You take that out the game, Baker Mayfield only went 20 for 38 for 140 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. You see how different that game is if they don't give up those big plays? The defense, that is. You see how different that game looks? 2 plays, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. You take that away, Baker Mayfield goes 20 for 38, 140 pass yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, 2 sacks. It's ridiculous. And honestly, if you don't give that up, you don't need anything from your offense, really. You just need them to sustain drives. But again, when you allow the defense to score quickly, and when your offense can't sustain drives and keep in key moments, that's what happens. That's exactly what happens. It's a recipe for disaster. But defense bit down in the 4th. They bit down. Again, want to give out flowers. Jalen Hurts, remarkable first half. Dallas Goedert, spectacular first half. Eagles offensive line or Eagles pass blocking, remarkable first half. Zack, Baun, Jihaad, Campbell, Quinyon, Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. Remarkable. I know Jihaad gave up that 72-yard touchdown, but he made up for it big time. I got to watch the film back, though, so I can give more flowers out, because I'm sure that interior, Moro Ojomo with a huge sack in crunch time. Jalen Carter, I think, with a pass deflection at the line of scrimmage. I think Jordan Davis had one as well. Let me see if I got this right here. Cooper DeJean had 2 pass breakups. Quinyon Mitchell had 5 pass breakups. 5. Quinyon Mitchell was balling out of control. Reed Blankenship, 2 pass breakups. Kelee Ringo, 1 pass breakup. Jihaad Campbell, 1 pass breakup. Moro Ojomo, 1 pass breakup. Zack Baun, TFL. Moro Ojomo, TFL. Jalen Hunt, TFL. I think this defense will be better going forward. They do got to be better in run and stopping the run. But this is not 2023, and I need people to stop saying that. The Anime Gamer with the $4.99 super chat back again says KP needs to take some plays out of Madden at this point, bro. For sure. So many things in this game that was working against you. The weather, a team that knows you well, that blitz. You overcame it. You won the game. Quinyon got away with some stuff. He got away. He was a little handsy. Quinyon was a little handsy, but he got away with it. I don't think Quinyon got called for a penalty in the game outside of the personal foul. Quinyon was balling out of control, dog. Emeka Ibuka couldn't do nothing. So, you know, there are criticisms to take from this game. There are criticisms to take from this game, for sure. But I just want to remind y'all. That we talked about this leading up to the season. These first 4 games were not going to be easy. We knew these first 4 games was going to really test us. And the Eagles still found a way to make it through that gauntlet being 4-0. And the reason I'm calling it a gauntlet is because you went up against 4 teams that know you very well. Very well. The Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Rams, the Buccaneers. You went up against teams that know you so well. You couldn't really surprise any of these teams. Flight Sphere with the $2 super chat. Thank you. He says, Quinyon and Patrick Surtain II next week in Philly going to be cinema. I agree, bro. I agree. My man Shep with the super chat. He says, and thank you for the $10 donation, brother. He says, Quinyon Mitchell is a baller for sure. He had a great game, but the defense is going to definitely get better. Fly Eagles fly. Yeah, man, I agree. I agree 100%. My man S. Blunt says something really important. Really important. He says a lot of complaining, but the fundamental problem with this O-line is the O-line is not dominating. He's right. I do think he's right. I think O-line had a good first half. Pass blocking, run blocking is still a concern, but I think that is the fundamental problem. This offensive line is not dominating. Every time Saquon touches the ball, he has almost no sunlight. And they're also not doing a good enough job getting him the ball in space. So, enough is not being discussed about that offensive line, though. They have not been dominant. They have not been playing like the best offensive line. I don't think they've played like a top 5 offensive line. I don't think they've played like a top 10 offensive line. Seriously. Lane Johnson banged up. Landon Dickerson banged up. Tyler Steen banged up. You know what I mean? 24 Birds with the $5 super chat. Thank you, my man. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys smash that like button as well. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We got over 200 people locked in on X, and we got 126 people locked in on YouTube. Hey, listen, you guys, make sure you guys migrate to the YouTube side. If you're watching on X, I appreciate you. Do not get me wrong. But migrating to the YouTube side is so much better for the overall growth of the channel, so much better for the overall algorithm. So again, I appreciate y'all. Make sure I hit that retweet button. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button on X. But also, don't hesitate to come to the YouTube side. That's what the party is, y'all. That's what the party is. And I appreciate y'all viewing the live stream nonetheless. But don't forget. Don't forget that YouTube is available to you guys. All right, let's see here. 24 Birds says the offensive line is out of sync. Lane Johnson getting old. Landon Dickerson ain't recovering from surgery. Cam probably still hurt too. Loss of Mekhi Becton. Hurt more than expected. By the way, y'all, Mekhi Becton hasn't been. If I'm not mistaken, Mekhi Becton has battled some injuries this year with the Chargers. If I'm not mistaken, I gotta double check this. I gotta check his snap count. Mekhi Becton in 2025 has played in 3 games, 138 snaps. He's only been available for 66% of the snaps for the Chargers. So Mekhi Becton has been in and out of the lineup with the Chargers. He has. So I'm not saying Mekhi Becton wouldn't help. But Mekhi Becton has been battling injuries the first few games as well. So, that's just is what it is. But I understand what y'all saying, though. Thank you for the super chat. All right, my dad is in the building. Let's see here. My dad, shout out to my dad, man. He says our schedule is a gauntlet, but we would give them nothing but take everything. Fly Eagles fly. Yo, Dad, I feel you on that, man. That game got spooky in the end, but this team is tough. They're resilient. They know how to win. They're coached well overall. Overall, they're coached well, especially on defense. But like I've been saying to y'all, we talked about the first 4 or 5 games of the schedule being tough. We talked about it being tough. And they came out 4-0. Teams had us going 1-3. Teams said we'll be lucky to be 2-2. Teams said we'll be lucky to go 2-2, let alone 3-1. The Eagles went 4-0. Are 4-0. So 4 weeks in, we didn't even have our bye week yet, right? After this Broncos game, that's going to be on Sunday at 1 o'clock. After that game, you got Giants, Vikings, Giants. You got Broncos, Giants, Vikings, Giants. This schedule is starting to ease up. But then after that bye week, it picks back up. It picks back up. Nonetheless, you got the win. You got the win. You got the win. You got the win. Tough environment. Offense looked really good in the first half. Things got stifled in the second half. Defense had a strong first half. Forced 2 crucial turnovers in the second. Actually forced 3 crucial turnovers in the second. 3 crucial turnovers. You had a forced fumble. You had an interception, and you had a turnover on downs. So although defense gave up those 2 big touchdown passes, although they gave that up in the second half, defense forced 3 turnovers. Turnover on downs, fumble, interception. Turnover on downs, fumble, interception. Just saying. All right. Let me see here. My man Alex, my member, been here for 8 months, man. Shout out to Alex. He says we have a 2-game lead in the division. Washington lost. It's a good point. It's a good point. When you're right now, we're 4-0. We let me see here. We need the Colts to beat the Rams. We need the Jags to beat the 49ers. And then the Eagles will be the lone undefeated team in the conference. Just keeping it player. You got a 2-game lead in your division. Giants are 1-3. The Cowboys are 1-2. They play tonight. I think they'll fall to 1-3. And the Commanders fall to 2-2. And you still have room to get better. So not only is my job here to talk about what I see, my job is also to restore optimism in your football team. I have a responsibility to not only kill them when they do bad, I got to acknowledge the full scope of the view, right? I got to acknowledge the full scope, the full range of emotions. You're 4-0. 3 of your first 4 games were against playoff teams. and you beat them. Chiefs made it to the Super Bowl. Rams made it to the divisional round. Buccaneers made the playoffs last year. So 3 of your first 4 games were playoff teams. And your next game, next week, is going to be a playoff team. So 4 of your first 5 games are playoff teams. 4 of the first 5. And you got a chance to go 5-0. You got a chance to go 5-0. I'll take that over anything else. I'll take that over anything else. The Buccaneers know you well. The Rams know you well. The Chiefs know you well. The Cowboys know you well, and you beat those teams. You had a division game in week 1, always a tough game in the division. You had a divisional game in week 1. You had a Super Bowl rematch in week 2. You had a divisional round rematch in week 3. And you had to play the Buccaneers in week 4, a team that has had your number. And you're 4-0. Do I have my criticisms? Absolutely. But I'm not going to feel bad about winning. I'm not going to feel bad about that. I'm not. And you're banged up. And your offensive play caller has been inconsistent. Your defense is forcing turnovers. For the most part, they're playing well. Outside of some bang-bang plays. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon. I'm not. I'm staying right where I am. I have my criticisms, but I'm not going to feel bad about being 4-0. And because it is defense, and because of how talented they are on offense, this is not 2023 to me. This is not 2023 to me. First half, Kevin Patullo was flawless. Jalen Hurts flawless. Offense flawless in the first half. Second half, things got tricky. They just got to string it together. Remember in the Rams game, first half, putrid. Second half, flawless. They just got to put it together. And remember, the second half was off script in the Rams game. In the first half of the Rams game, the scripted plays wasn't working. Second half, when they went off script, it was working. This week, Buccaneers game, first half script working. Second half goes off script, things getting a little weird. They just got to put it together. This defense is going to be okay in the long run. They're forcing turnovers. They're doing pretty well in short yardage situations. Fangio is being very creative with the pass rush in terms of sending Zack Baun or sending Jihaad Campbell to help because they're not getting enough on the edge. I do expect Howie Roseman to make a move at the deadline, be it for an edge rusher or for a corner. I do expect that, but I'm not going to feel bad about winning. I'm not going to feel bad about where this team is because when they beat the Buccaneers next Sunday, then they got Giants, Vikings, Giants. I like our chances to go into the bye week 8-0. 7-1 minimum. 7-1 minimum. I like our chances. That's how I'm carrying it. That's how I choose to carry it. That's what I'm choosing. Smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, man. I really do appreciate the love. You guys have been giving a lot of super chats. I really do appreciate it, man. You guys have really, really been fantastic. You guys have been really fantastic, man. Like I said, sure, y'all heard me when I started. I had criticisms. I criticized this team. I criticized Kevin Patullo. I criticized the defense for giving up 2 plays for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes. Less than 2 minutes. I criticized Ringo's tackling. I criticized run blocking. I criticized force-feeding A.J. Brown. I criticized Jalen Hurts for not completing a pass in the second half. I criticized all those things. But guess what? I have a responsibility to acknowledge the good too. I have a responsibility to acknowledge where I think the team can go and how they're showing you that they have the pieces to be dominant. They have the pieces to be dominant in terms of how they're winning these games. They got to put it all together in one game. They just got to put it together. Seeing Kevin Patullo open that first half like that, and that wasn't just Jalen Hurts scrambling. They were dialing up some really creative shit. They just got to string it together. And I think that's possible because Kevin Patullo showed me he can call a strong first half. He showed me he can call a strong second half. That defense showed me they could take the ball away. That defense showed me they can step up in crucial, got to have it downs. That defense showed me they can cover. Vic Fangio showed me creativity with his blitzing. I think run defense has to get a little better. Quinyon Mitchell is playing well. Cooper DeJean is playing well. Jihaad Campbell overall is playing well. Jordan Davis is playing well. Jalen Carter has been solid. I think he's banged up. Zack Baun playing well. I'm not overreacting. Even though I can. I got every reason to blow a gasket, but I'm not. You're 4-0 with a chance to get better, and you've shown that you can have these super strong halves. You just got to put it together. Put it together. The Ravens are getting blown out 20-7. Oh, my God. I had them winning that game. Yo, that's crazy. Well, Xavier Worthy's back. Xavier Worthy got 3 touches for 76 yards in the first half. No wonder. Xavier Worthy has 3 touches for 76 yards in the first half. No wonder they're getting their ass kicked. Lamar Jackson turned the ball over through an interception. I didn't expect this. I mean, look, there's a second half for a reason, though. We'll see how that goes, though. We'll see, man. We'll see, man. But look, I'm about to get out of here, y'all. Thank y'all for the donations. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you for being subscribed to the channel. Thank you for hitting the like button. Shout out to all my people holding it down, not only on YouTube, right, but all my people holding it down on Twitter as well. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are retweeting and sharing the content as well. Again, we got over 220 people on X. We got 120 people watching on YouTube. Let's try to migrate y'all over to the YouTube side. Let's try to migrate to that side. Okay? Your Philadelphia Eagles are 18-0 in games Jalen Hurts has started and finished. 18 straight wins. 18 straight wins by Jalen Hurts and his team in every game Jalen Hurts starts and finishes. 18 straight wins. They're also 20-1. 20-1 in their last 21 games as a football team. 20-1. They didn't win 20 in a row, but I get what y'all saying. That Commanders loss is sprinkled in there. They didn't win 20 in a row. They're 18-0 in a row when Jalen Hurts starts and finishes the game. But they didn't win. They didn't ring off 20 in a row. But they are 20-1 in their last 21 games. That one loss from the Commanders is in there. Remember, from the Week 5 bye week in 2024, They was winning. Then they lost to the Commanders. Then they didn't lose since. They haven't lost since that Commanders game. But I understand the point though. 20-1, remarkable. 18-0 in every game Jalen Hurts starts and finishes. In your last 18 games, remarkable. Remarkable, man. All right. I'm out of here, y'all. I'm about to get me something to eat. Man, you guys are great. You guys are great. Oh, hold on, wait. I forgot. Let me send my man Marcus this real quick. Hold on. I forgot about my man Marcus. Where he at? Let me send this to him. My man Marcus. He want to jump in real quick. Hold on, y'all. We got a special guest coming. We got a special guest coming real quick, y'all. Smash that like button. I want to tap in with Marcus before he get out of here. I don't know if he's busy or not. Let's see if he pops in. Let's give him a few minutes. Let's see if he can pop in. Let me see some of y'all comments here, though. Tone Chosen says too many missed tackles, though. Yeah, they were mainly on Kelee Ringo. Keith Watkins says, I had the Chargers beating the Giants and my parlay went to crap. Bro, the Chargers are so strange. And the Giants. The Giants almost... I don't know how the Giants got that off. Now, granted, when Joe Alt got carted off, so their rookie right is a right tackle. I think their rookie right tackle, Joe Alt, got carted off. Joe Alt got carted off, so their offensive line was already compromised because I think Rashawn Slater is done too. They didn't hire Rashawn Slater, so he's on IR. So you lost your star left tackle and right tackle. I mean, against that Giants pass rush, not a good situation to be in. Not a good situation to be in. AJ Brown just tweeted, I love all of y'all with all my heart. Let me look up, look at Quinyon Mitchell's stats. Oh my God, this is crazy. Quinyon Mitchell's stats is just ridiculous. I got to bring this up on screen, y'all. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Quinyon Mitchell. Let's see here. But yeah, man. Quinyon Mitchell versus Emeka Egbuka and Chris Godwin. 9 targets, 2 catches allowed, 6 yards allowed, 5 pass breakups, 0 TDs, a 90.2 PFF grade. Woo! Career high, baby. Now, again, he got away with some stuff. But hey, if the ref didn't call it, it didn't happen. This was a hell of a performance by him. All he needs is the interception to top it off. Man, Ringo, I mean, Quinyon went crazy. Quinyon went stupid in this game. Stupid. He went stupid in this game. I'm telling you, outside of that 77-yard touchdown, Egbuka was in hell. He was in the gulag. He was in the gulag. He couldn't do nothing. Let me see where my man Marcus at. He said he coming, so. All right. But what a game by Quinyon, man. What a game. I got to look at some of these stats from this Chargers game. How did the Chargers lose to the Giants? The Chargers were looked at as a team. But look, watch what happens, though. They're going to make excuses for Justin Herbert. For sure. They're going to make excuses for Justin Herbert. No Rashawn Slater, no Joe Alt. What do you expect him to do? I expect him to take over the game. I expect him to do what needs to be done. I had Washington winning, they lost. I had the Chargers winning, they lost. What else? I had Houston winning, they won. Had Pittsburgh winning, they barely won. Let's see here. All right, my man Marcus is in the building. Let's get this thing rolling, y'all. Let's get this bad boy rolling. All right. Marcus, my guy, talk to me, man. Tell me what's on your mind.
Bruh.
The floor is yours. The floor is yours, man.
What have we been saying? That after the fourth game, school's out. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They are susceptible to all criticisms and or praise that you see fit.
Yep.
And right now, to have had a first half as good as the second half of the Rams game, and then to have a second half that was as bad as the first half of the Rams game. I don't know. I have no idea what we have. We have a good defense, and we have a average at best offense.
Yeah.
That's all I can say, because that's what I'm looking at. Any type of equity that Kevin Patullo may have built up is gone now. It's gone.
That quick.
And we saying this at a win. The only silver lining is it can only get better. The offense can only get better. Because I don't know. I get very frustrated watching other games, watching other teams that I used to consider inferior teams do all the things that we complain about every game. I see other teams running the ball outside with their running back. I see other teams getting the ball to their number one wide receiver, regardless of the situation.
In creative ways, by the way. Like, I mean, there was one drive, they literally ran the same route with A.J. Brown 3 plays in a row for no gain.
Yeah. I don't, and that tells me that they're running out of ideas, or they haven't opened the playbook enough, or whatever variety that they think they have, they don't. And I don't know what to say. Any criticism that the Eagles get going forward is warranted. All of those people that say, the Eagles are sham artists, or the Eagles won't be here this time in November and December going into the playoffs. All of that rhetoric is warranted now. And every week, not that it's any different, but every week it's going to be like the Eagles are going to have to show and prove that they deserve to be wherever they are. Yeah. Are we a lock to win the NFC East? We should be. But based on what I saw today, and, can we just go in and roll the Giants? Can we just go in and roll the Cowboys in game 2? Can we just go in and roll Washington? After what I've seen for the last 2 weeks, no. Do I think we're the better team? Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't trust them to, at this point, play a complete game. And that's the problem, right? Because, like, to your point.
Right.
We
got, special teams is good. Defense is doing what they need. Defense is stepping up. They let the big plays go today, but that's going to happen. The other guys get paid too.
I will say this, though, Coach, I will say this. 2 plays, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes.
Yep. Sometimes
less than 2 minutes time. That's not helping anybody.
Well,
but also offense, you're not sustaining drives. It's hot out there. You got to help that defense, man.
They gassed out. But look at we had to experience some of the worst Murphy's Law that we've had this season. And what I say is the situation, the first long touchdown, the first score.
That was a prayer ball, if you ask me.
That was Makuba. Makuba did the same exact thing that C.J. Gardner-Johnson did. for the Texans.
Mm.
He bit on the wrong route. Receiver got behind, and the safety did not have the safety was one step away from saving that play.
Yeah, Reed Blankenship. That actually, to your point, I actually don't put that on Reed Blankenship. I put that on Makuba.
No. It's that was Drew Makuba. Reed Blankenship shouldn't have had to go all the way over there. But he was one half a step away. His hand was 6 inches away from that ball.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets a half a step more, that we're not having this conversation. Mm-hmm. Then you had the situation with Bucky Irvin and Jihaad Campbell.
Yeah,
that was just a scramble on Baker
drill.
Mayfield. Sometimes things like that happen.
Yeah,
and what do I always say?
Good ball by Baker Mayfield too.
I don't care how fast you are as a linebacker. Linebackers can't cover. They can run, but they can't cover. And you came across somebody that's a little bit faster.
Can't cover that long.
Correct. And he got behind you, and Baker Mayfield threw a perfect ball, scrambled to get himself out of trouble. He made a great play. That was the quarterback making a play for his team, and they took it to the house. Sometimes things like that are going to happen because the other guys get paid too. Unfortunately, they happen in the span of about 2 minutes. So that was a 14-point swing in less than 3 minutes. So when we did stuff like that, it's all great. Everybody get a turn.
Of course, for sure.
And even though it happened, the defense still buckled up when they had to buckle up, and they kept them out of the end zone. They settled. Shout out to their kicker. Good Lord, 65 yards.
That was nuts.
Good grief! Shout out that's player of the week right there, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But in spite of all of that, we still managed to win the game. But the amount of criticism and skepticism that this offense specifically is going to get this week
is deserved.
Warranted.
It's deserved. No, it's deserved. It's definitely deserved. My perspective is this, right? Because I agree with everything you said. You ain't saying nothing wrong. Like you didn't say anything I disagree with. I just want to add this part, right? At this point, we've seen Kevin Patullo and his offense engineer a really strong first half in this game, a really strong second half in the previous game, right? To open the season, they scored on their first 3 possessions, 21 points. So we've seen this offense able to get going. It's not like they've been anemic the entire time. They've had these stretches where they're just hot and they're feeling it. And then out of nowhere, it just dust.
Stopped. It's like immediately they run out of gas.
So I'm trying to understand what that is, for one. And for two, I say to myself, if they can just put that together, if it was consistently second half struggles,
right,
or consistently first half struggles, then I'd be like, yo, we got a real issue here. But I'm seeing a tale of two halves on both sides of the spectrum. If they can put that together, because your defense is playing fairly well, all things considered.
Yeah,
all things considered.
Airbrushing, they only scored 23 points. If it wasn't for that block punt and the touchdown, we lose that game. Don't forget that.
The Eagles offense, right?
Correct.
Eagles offense, to your point, are you talking about the field goal?
Yeah.
And the block.
Well, no, we scored 20.
Okay, so
we scored. We had 4 scores.
It'd be 24 points without the block punt.
The block punt, right.
Yeah.
So he was saying we scored 30 points. I was like, no, we didn't.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about that.
No, we didn't. You got to keep that.
You do got to keep that in perspective. But also, I will say this though, since that happened so early in the game, it obviously gave you a boost, right? We have no idea what happens if that doesn't happen though, right?
We got an L.
But again, they were so dominant in the first half, offensively, defensively,
and defensively. Yeah, listen, I was like, finally, we're gonna get a dominating game. Finally.
Here's what pisses me off, right? Because outside of those 2 passes, Baker Mayfield didn't have a good game. He did not have a good game. Outside of those 2 passes, you know what Baker Mayfield's stats are? If you take away those 2 passes, I'll tell you. Baker Mayfield, if you take away those 2, if you take away that 77-yard and 72-yard touchdown,
100 was that 142 yards, 149 yards?
149 yards total on 2 passes alone. 2 plays, 2 touchdowns. You take those 2 plays away, and again, that's hypothetical, and I hate doing that, but I just want to put in perspective how ineffective he ultimately was.
Right.
You take away those 2 passing plays, he goes 20 for 38, 140 passing yards, no touchdowns, an interception, 2 sacks.
Yeah.
2 plays shifts how people talk about him on Monday.
Yep.
Because he did not look good in that game. Pass coverage was smothering. And on top of that, the refs were moving them. They couldn't move the Buccaneers. If it wasn't for the refs or those explosive they couldn't move the ball. They couldn't move the ball. So, but again, they happened, and you got to take accountability for that. If, shoulda, coulda, woulda, what happened, happened. But to zoom out a little bit, prior to the season, we talked about these first 4 games being very tough to start. You went up against 4 teams in a row that knew you very well. 2 road games, 2 home games. You had a divisional opponent in week 1 who knows you very well. You had a Super Bowl rematch in week 2, a team that knows you well. You had a divisional round rematch in week 3, a team that knows you very well that's bitter. Both teams got a chip on their shoulder, by the way. Week 2, week 3, got chips on their shoulder, Chiefs and Rams. You managed to win those games. You're 3-0. Then the Buccaneers game, we all know what that's about. We all know the whole stigma, the weird aura around that matchup. And you did it on the road in blistering heat.
Yeah.
So although your criticisms and my criticisms are extremely valid and our concerns are warranted, I am also willing to say in the same breath, damn, to be 4-0 and make it through this, next up you got Broncos, Giants, Vikings, Giants. The schedule eases up a bit. And Malik Neighbors just went down. Possible torn ACL.
I saw that. And the only thing I will say is this. The way our offense is playing right now, we have no easy games. We don't.
Fair enough.
We don't.
Fair enough.
We are now, in my opinion, one of those teams that can get got. So we can easily play the Giants and lose. We can play Denver and lose. Denver's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, to your point, actually, the Giants beat the Chargers today. Who would have thought?
Exactly. We both got that wrong.
Now, granted, Chargers, they started that game without Rashawn Slater. He's been on IR all year long. I don't think he's playing
and they got a lucky play with the big lineman ran it down to the 2.
Yeah, and then Joe Altman got carted off. So they're missing a starting left tackle and a starting right tackle.
Yep.
Just wasn't a good game by the Chargers. And were the Giants home, by the way?
Yeah.
So not a good game, not a good game on the road for that team. Justin Herbert threw 2 interceptions. He kind of reverted back to
the pumpkin.
He kind of turned back into a pumpkin. So the week 4 has been interesting. And I'm also looking at the landscape. Yeah. Right? Not just looking at us. I'm zooming out looking at the landscape. Are the Chargers exactly who people thought they were? Are the who else? The Commanders fall to 2-2. Giants, what is it? Cowboys likely will fall to 1-3 today, but who knows? The week 4's been weird. Rams and Colts are on the nail biter right now. You beat the Buccaneers. Minnesota got. Seattle.
Ashton Benty just got busy. Oof.
So I just want to, again, I try to tell myself this. This time last year, who did we think the Eagles were? A team that can get got.
Facts.
I'm not trying to take accountability off of Patullo. I promise y'all I'm not. But I'm just trying to, because of this team and what this team plays for, they play the long game.
Yeah,
but it's spooky. It's fair. It's spooky.
You know what? It's not what, it's how though. I'm okay with, what they say, I can take a loss.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that you lose, it's how you lose. It's not that you win, it's how you win.
Yeah.
And that's what's so troubling And it seems like everybody and their mama got an answer for it. Because to me, some of the problems, I guess, to me, don't seem complicated. But
That
why do
scares me
we have?
also. That scares me
Yeah,
also. The fact that the problems aren't complicated, yet they still persist.
I don't
Hold on
understand
one.
when again, and I hate going back to this, but we keep going over stuff, and we keep seeing other teams do it, and we want to say we one of the best teams, and we see inferior teams, inferior talent do the same things that we complaining about, and I just keep going back to that same question: is how come we can't implement that in our offense? What is it that's holding us back?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we trying to force the ball to AJ Brown 3 times in a row
That was
with the
so
same
crazy.
plays that we ran last week
That was
that
so
everybody
crazy.
knows is coming?
That was crazy. I'm like, yo, are they for real?
Why are we throwing a screen to AJ Brown with no
Why did we
blockers
get
in front
away?
of him?
Why did we get away from Dallas Goedert and the tight ends? They couldn't. Their linebackers couldn't cover. They couldn't cover the tight ends all first half. Why did we get away from that? But I
There's
want to
a
address
play.
this right here.
I think
by
this was
Green
in the
Wave.
third quarter. It was in
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
third quarter. We threw the ball to AJ. I believe it was the third down. We threw the ball to AJ.
The quick slant,
And if
right?
I'm not mistaken, Dallas Goedert was wide open going across the middle. I could be wrong because I need to see the all 22. But I was like, that's the throw. Why didn't he? Because we trying to get the ball to AJ to placate him. And it's like we have to come to grips with the situation that everybody we play is going to double team AJ Brown, period. Get used to it. AJ, this might not be your year because everybody's going to make somebody else beat him. We figured out Saquon. They don't like to run outside. Keep him bottled up. Maybe he'll break one every now and then, but that hasn't happened because freaking Patullo don't want to run the ball outside the tackles. I don't understand that at all. But as long as we keep doing that, you don't need 8 men in the box like you did last year, which takes away from the option. You bring 8 men in the box, somebody on the corners is going to be one-on-one. That's why AJ was having such a good – it all works together, and I don't understand how they are game planning these defenses. I don't understand it. These defenses aren't doing anything different than they have done the past 2-3 seasons. But all they're doing, and I said this after the Dallas game, everybody is going to see what happened in that Dallas game, and they're going to blanket A.J. Brown and make somebody else beat him until we show that we can do it. And then what happens last week, and finally in the second half, we break out, and let's be real, we forced the ball to AJ. But what was the conversation on the radio? Sometimes you got to force it to him because AJ Brown can do things. I even said it. Get the ball in his hands, he can break a tackle. But those were the same 2 plays we ran last week. The only difference was last week he caught him. This week you came up against a better defensive back, and they denied you the ball. So we didn't really do anything different. The only difference was the DBs were a little bit better.
That's the problem, though. You didn't do anything different. And like AJ can run more than just a hit rush and a go ball.
Correct.
He can do way more than that.
I can't wait to go over this tape.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to look at I want to look at every time AJ was on the field, and I want to track the routes he ran. Just so I want to see. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna stop the tape at the top of Jalen's drop. Who's open? I'm not trying to look at the defense. Tell me where the gap is and tell me where the ball should go.
That first half, Jalen Hurts was just throwing to the open guy. He was just throwing to the open guy in the first half. He was spreading the ball around.
And why couldn't he do that in the second half?
And then all of a sudden, you just saw this massive influx of A.J. Brown targets. Massive influx.
You know, exactly. And you know what that looked like? It looked like that.
It looked like the coach said,
we had a good first half.
I got to get AJ the ball. Ooh, I got to get AJ the ball.
Exactly.
Listen, like, ooh,
exactly.
Shoot. I forgot.
That's exactly what I thought.
Instead of just calling the game.
We good. Now we can try to let AJ get his. We good though. We got a 3-score lead. We good. Now we got to work on getting AJ the ball. That's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what it looked like. It looked like they literally said, ooh, AJ, I got you, buddy. Got you.
But this goes back to what Jalen said. It's not always going to look the way we want it to look. It's not going to always do that. I don't even want to call this conservative ball. I just think it was stupid. It was stupid play calling.
Yeah.
And if we didn't call those plays, and again, I got to put the some of the onus on Jalen because there were other options to go with the ball. You didn't have to go to AJ Brown.
I agree 100%. I do agree with that. Again, I do want to watch the film back though to see because there were moments, Tom Brady and those guys they'd be talking about. They said, "Yeah, there's nowhere to go here."
Yeah.
So I just want to
Todd
see.
Bowles did what he was supposed to do.
I just want to see what I can't wait to watch the film. Like you said, I want to see the AJ Brown routes. I want to see the situations that especially in the second half. I just need to see because the first half, Jalen was just drop back, diagnose the blitz, get it out, find open guy. He wasn't thinking about who could touch the rock.
Bro, he had 0 passing yards in the second half.
0 completions.
0 passing yards, bro. That is how Sway?
You can't do that. You can't do that.
I don't know what to say on that one, man. Because I'll be one. It's like, you know what? You got to take the good with the bad. A win is a win. Blah 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 blah. And I agree. However, this does not feel good at all. This does not feel good. You know what I said? I said to my man Chris 3K on the stream. I said this is like that first half. You went over grandmama's house. She fixed everything you needed. You got the smoked turkey. She made collard greens. She made macaroni and cheese. She served it up to you. And the second half, you dropped the plate.
I'll take it a step further. It's like grandma did everything you just said, right? Or some dummy accidentally kicked the leg of the table and all the food hit the floor. I seen that happen at Thanksgiving before. I was there,
bro.
And we saved everything. Thank God. Everything I saved, it was cool. Everything worked out in the end. But that's exactly what it looked like. Like you said, grandma made all your favorite things. And somehow, some way, somebody kicked the leg under it and all the food hit the floor. So yeah, man, this is it's very strange. It's very strange. I don't know, man.
Hey, pull up what Neil said because I thought, in my opinion, I thought Jalen had a concussion.
I thought he got banged up too. I saw it.
Yeah.
It was when he got when he slid, right? He slid and his head snapped back and hit the ground, but the ball just missed him with the shoulder. But yeah, he says felt like Hurts was extra late on his second half throws, but I think the big hit had something to do with him proceeding in the time. I think he got his bell rung personally.
I cannot rebut that because he did get up slow. I thought they were gonna put him in, at least take him to the blue tent, but they didn't. So, and I thought that when the runner gives up himself, especially a quarterback, you can't hit him. Didn't they get Brandon Graham for that when we played Washington 2 years ago?
This is what I'm saying, man. Like the inconsistency, bro. They like we've seen situations where a guy literally just hit him in the shoulder, but because it looked so bad, they called the penalty. Like,
but he gave up his body, so I don't understand. It doesn't have to be a headshot. That's what I thought the rule was.
Right.
But I don't know. They protect all the other quarterbacks. If that had been Patrick Mahomes, they would have flagged it.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was. I'm not trying to make excuses for the Eagles, right? Because I know some people think I am. I feel like I'm calling it straight how I see it, but I'm choosing to look at it in different. But I'm also choosing optimism over what other people want to do. I feel like you and I, and before you came on, I laid out why people should be concerned about the Eagles. But I feel like I also have a responsibility to not only provide you with great content, but also leave the stream feeling good about myself. And yeah, so many things to criticize about this Eagles team, in particular on offense, because I think defense ultimately will be fine. I think this is a playoff level, championship level defense in the end. I think talent isn't a problem. I think this defense has done great things, especially in crucial moments. Got to have it drives. This defense forced 3 turnovers a day, a turnover on downs, an interception, and a forced fumble.
Man, it's
so yeah, I have things. So I'm with everybody in their criticisms. I don't want people to think I'm overlooking criticisms. I've said them, but I'm not going to spend here. I'm not going to spend an hour and a half bitching. I'm not. That's not even in my character. Like my man Marcus said, Eagles should be concerned. And it's 4 games now. Kevin Patullo deserves every bit of criticism that's going to come his way. Jalen Hurts, strong first half, weird second half, right? Force feeding AJ Brown. Yeah, all those things are valid. The run game, the run blocking has been awful. Saquon Barkley got dinged up in this game as well. Almost, I think they should have took him out personally, but it is what it is. My criticisms are the same as yours. We watched the same game, but I'm also zooming out and saying, okay, what do they have personnel wise? What are they showing me in a half-to-half basis? Okay, they just got to put these together, and they'll be fine offensively. And then on top of that, first 4 games, very tough opponents that came with its own bevy of storylines, narratives, and they all had chips on their shoulder when it came to Philly.
Big time.
So when I think about all those variables, I say to myself, you know what? To be experiencing what they're experiencing and come out 4-0, remarkable.
You got to say something with that.
It's remarkable for one.
Yes, it is.
You can pick apart any game that you watch on Sunday. Hey, if this play don't happen, they don't get the W. Hey, if they don't do this, they don't get the W. If they don't do this, they don't get the. I can do that for every game I watch. So I'm not rolling with that. You're 4-0, and 3 of your first 4 opponents were playoff teams.
Yeah.
4 of your first 5 opponents are going to be playoff teams. You play Broncos on next Sunday, playoff team. So when people say we could easily be 2-2, I could point to 10 plus other teams who are going to be in the playoffs.
Yep.
And
you're right.
I could say they could easily be 1-3 or 2-2 or 3-1. Eagles have the 3rd ranked most difficult schedule, and I think they had the hardest schedule in the NFC. Actually, no, I'll take that back. I think the Giants have the hardest schedule this year because of the travel and the way they set it up. But again, criticisms are valid, Marcus. They are valid, but I'm choosing to zoom out. I'm choosing to zoom out and say to myself, you know what? 4-0 these first 4 games. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we gonna have to do this every week. We're gonna have to go over this every week until something clicks. And it's either gonna be good or bad. It's either we're gonna have a great offensive game and Jalen gonna throw for 300 and 2 touchdowns in the air, all of that type of stuff, or we're gonna lose a game because we can't move the ball and the city's gonna explode. It's gonna be either or. And there's a good chance the way they're looking now that it might be both. We might be a bipolar team. Defense is saving our bacon right now because the defense is keeping us in the game. How the hell you come out for the second half and go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out? And you look absolutely horrible. You look like your little brother trying to play Madden, and all he does is run the same.
And it looked like somebody. I'm glad you said that. You know what it looked like? It looked like your big brother played the first half on the game,
and then he gave you the sticks.
And then he put the controller down because his girl called and said, "Hey, finish this game for me."
Right.
And you did what you did.
Came back and you like, "What did you do?"
Yo,
messed up my rating and everything.
I gave you the controller. You was up 26. You was up 24-6. What are you doing? Give me the controller, dog.
Hey, Marcus, I will be deep into that this week. I'm so pissed off with this run game. Once again, we wasted.
When are we going to start pointing at Jeff Stoutland too? I know that I know that's blasphemous now. I know I'm about to run for some fellas with this one, but isn't Jeff Stoutland the run game coordinator?
Yeah, but I just don't understand why we can't run the ball outside.
Do you think it's strictly the choosing not to run outside, or do you think, because I think run blocking has not been great?
Well, let me say this. Saquon had one play that if he would have stayed outside the tackle, he may have taken it to the house. He bounced in, he straightened it up and went north-south and went inside the block. So let me say this. He made the right read. But obviously, I'm looking on the broadcast, so I'm looking at things a little bit differently. And if he'd have stayed outside, he had a receiver on the outside on that DB. That was another block. and there was nobody behind him. If he stays the course and goes outside of that tackle, it wasn't even a bounce out. He should have just stayed on the same path, and he would have naturally went out there. That would have been a 7 to 8 yard gain at least, and possibly taking one to the house. So I want to see if there was any more plays like that. But I'm so frustrated with this run game because I don't think we ran outside one time today. And when I say run outside, I'm not talking about handing the ball inside and Saquon makes a jump cut. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the play is designed to go outside the tackle. I saw Tampa Bay do it. They had trips tight on one side, and they ran the ball outside. And you know what? I think it only may have gotten 3 yards, maybe 4. But everybody on the defense was chasing. Then you run a counter the other way, and then it lets you do some other things. And we just don't do it. It is so frustrating because it's like, all right, we in ace, we in I formation. They're gonna run inside the tackles. There's no benefit of lining up in an I, and we gonna run an isolation. And we on our own 20-something yard line, and we run isolation, and we end up getting a 2-yard loss. And I'm like, what are you doing? You can run outside the tackle and still stay in bounds. You can do that. I don't understand. I don't understand Patullo's play calling in that situation because the run game has got to come from him.
As far as like the play calling itself, as far as the decisions to where they're going to run, I agree with you on that. I don't know what's going on with this offensive line in general. I don't know what's going on with just that there seems to that second half there was no rhyme and reason.
No.
There was no rhyme or reason to the second half. So that's what confuses me. We'll see, man. This is again,
you dumbfounded, bro. Dumbfounded.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Your defense forces 3 turnovers or 2 turnovers. The only turnover you capitalized off of was the fumble.
Yep.
I will say I did like that fake tush push though.
I thought that was phenomenal, but it was like he shot his wad after that.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, that was cool. You can't run it again, so what else you got?
The red zone play calling was really good today.
Yeah.
But between the 20s is where things got funny in the second half. Between the 20s.
And isn't it funny? We had a 3rd and 2, no tush push.
Yo, I'm glad you said that. There was a 3rd and 2, right?
Yep.
And they decided to pass the ball instead of running it again and then doing a tush push.
That was one of those forced passes to AJ.
Yes. I was like,
why?
What? I was like, oh wait. I was like, wait, what?
At least put it up there. Let's see. Okay, y'all talking all this smack. Let's see if y'all can stop the play.
Yo, Marcus.
We didn't run the tush push not one time.
3rd and long, we run it.
3rd and short, we pass.
Passing it.
Kevin, what are you doing? You saw AJ get that screen pass, and he just shook his head. Like, why would you call this? Why would you call this play?
Dog. This and that what we just described is a microcosm of me looking like, what the fuck is wrong with you? 3rd and 2, you are one of the best short yardage teams in football, if not the best. 3rd and 2, you would like to pass it after I think Saquon actually ran like 7 yards, 8 yards, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't get it.
You set it up.
I might go back and watch this game again tonight.
And then 3rd and long, you run it. It was only like 3rd and 13, 3rd and 15, whatever it was. I got a double back, but it's like, yo, we don't take no shots on 3rd and long. This motherfucker's scared. Something really wrong with him.
I don't know what it is, bro.
I
have no idea.
It seemed he played like he called plays like he afraid to mess this thing up. Instead of just acting like a kid, they got new toys. I want to play with everything.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. They knew what we was going to run. Yeah, we are too predictable.
You know what he does? He goes to a buffet and only eats one thing. We're at a buffet. You better go get some more plates.
He only wants the chicken wings. That's all he
Yeah.
wants.
He the type to go to a cookout and say, "Ooh, can you cook my veggie burger on a separate part of the grill? Can you clean the grill before you cook my burger?" Bro, we had a cookout, man.
Yeah,
You don't give me that damn burger. Well, I don't really eat.
Good play.
Well, I don't really eat meat. He's that guy. He the guy to bring his own veggie burgers to the cookout and ask to clean the grill.
I'll tell you what, man. They got some things to clean up, and
I think they need a bye week bad.
No, I don't think a bye week is going to help this problem.
Well, I think they're banged up. So
yeah, but so was everybody else. Everybody else.
Yeah,
we got Jalen Carter got hurt.
It's that shoulder. He's been dealing with that shoulder since the beginning of the season.
Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is at this point.
He came back in. Taylor Steen got banged up, came back in. Saquon got banged up, stayed on the field.
Jalen tried to make a tackle, landed on the stomach, and then had to come out the game because he basically landed on the shoulder. So
Lane Johnson left the game.
I didn't hear why he left the game.
They didn't. I said why he left that game.
Yeah. So Fred Johnson will be starting next week.
But that's what I think.
Matt Pryor didn't look bad at guard.
But your entire right side gonna be Tyler Steen, Fred Johnson. I think Lane need a week off. Lane need a week off.
Stinger again? Okay, so that must be a hellified stinger. Let me just say that. That stinger must be going down to his sciatica or something like that. Hey, Tone, I'll be right back.
It's all good. Listen, I'm about to close this stream up anyway, my man. So,
all right.
Listen, bro, we're going to talk. I'll see you Tuesday.
I'm jumping on again tonight at 10:30.
Okay. I may pop in on that.
Okay.
Just send me the link.
All right.
All right, my guy. Be cool.
I'll let you.
All right, y'all. That's the show. That is the show. I appreciate y'all for locking in the way you guys do, man. Shout out to my man, Coach Marcus, for coming in with the impromptu guest appearance, man. He's phenomenal at what he does. He knows the game. When he when he speaks, I listen. You know what I'm saying? This brother played the game at the highest level. He's played on the college level, played in the NFL, played in the CFL, the World League, all-time leading rusher for Eastern Kentucky University. When he talks, I listen. So his perspective is extremely valid, and I agree with mostly everything he says. Again, I'm just choosing to look at this thing a little bit more zoomed out. I understand we're in the thick of it and things are a little spooky, and I understand all your perspectives because it's valid. Every criticism you guys post for this team is extremely valid. But for my peace of mind, for my own well-being, for my own sanity, I'm choosing to zoom out and say this team wasn't supposed to be where they are. People had this team starting the season 1-3, 2-2 at most, especially given the losses you had on defense. Losing Mekhi Becton on the offensive line. People had this team, all things considered, had this team starting the season 1-3, 2-2. I even heard people say, hey, this Eagles team could start 0-4. They're 4-0 and are not playing their best football. They're 4-0 and have yet to put together a strong, complete game. That first half, offense, defense, special teams, lights out. Second half, offense sputters. Defense gives up 2 big plays. But like my man Marcus said, those kind of things happen. But they can't happen, but they do. The previous game, anemic first half, your second half, offense explodes. Defense comes up big. Special teams comes up big, right? Week 2, very weird game. You get out with the W, though. Both teams struggle. Week 1, strong first half. Weak second half. But defense shut out the Cowboys in the second half. So, if there's so many pieces to this equation here that if the Eagles can just put it together, this Eagles team is going to be good. They're going to be fantastic. Because that first half, that was a team that couldn't be fucked with. That second half, that was a team that almost messed it up. But thank God for the defense. Thank God for the defense. Thank God for the defense. And sometimes it's going to be like that, where your defense got to win you some games. And sometimes the way the NFL is, you may have a half where you hot, and the second half, defense just gets you. The opposing defense has your number. So you're a team, and you gotta battle. You gotta battle, and it's a marathon. It's a marathon, Philadelphia, not a sprint. Okay, but I am not dismissing your concerns, because you and I have the same exact worries when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm just choosing peace instead of violence. I'm choosing to look at the bigger picture and understanding that, you know what? Marathon, not a sprint. And with the way this thing works, we know how it goes. You got to get hot at the right time. You got to get hot at the right time. And your Philadelphia Eagles in 2024 got hot at the right time. The goal is to win games, even when you're not at your best. But what happens when you are at your best? Opponents, tuck your cookies. It can get scary. But Kevin Patullo, I can't defend you no more, bro. I can't. You are on a play-by-play basis with me. You are on a game-by-game basis with me, brother. Seriously. And it's straight like that. I've been your humble host, Tone DeShields II. Shout out to my brother in arms, Marcus Thomas, a.k.a. Coach Marcus from Pro Fan Talk. Shout out to him. He's a phenomenal talent, phenomenal guy. Does great work covering your Philadelphia Eagles, covering the NFL, covering the WNBA. All-time leading rusher for Eastern Kentucky University. Played in the NFL for the Philadelphia Eagles, played in the CFL, played in the World League. His brother knows his football, so I appreciate him for locking in with me as he always does. I may tap into his stream tonight and pick his brain a little bit. But we definitely are going to see you guys on Tuesday for our weekly Tuesday episode of the Bald Eagles podcast. Smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed. You guys have been tuned in to Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game.